what I'm going after is the injector's feedback. Alright, so basically number 1 is saying 0 and number 2, 3 and 4 is saying something different, right? So let's take a screenshot of this. What we have here is the old nozzles that was changed out, and we just got these injectors back from, these nozzles wasn't good, right? As I said, remember, based on the scan tool, I'm supposed to be seeing 0 volume per stroke, right? So these are the fresh nozzles, right? Fresh o-ring, fresh everything. I have no damaged ones, right? They are numbered. The boy hit me over some other compressed washers also for the line, right? I'm not really going to clean this up, but I'm going to clean up the threading on the hold-on clamps. All right, what I like to do also is put a dab of grease on the bottom of the compression washer for the injector, so when I'm putting it down it won't slip off, and you know, so it just stay in one place. So let me just got a little dab of grease here. Let me just get it here. Just put a little dab of grease here. Nothing major, just a little bit, so it could stick, so it won't fall out when I'm putting it down in the engine, right? I also numbered the top of the injector, each injector, so I don't have to do the injector compensation again, right? You just mark it. You can mark it with a scribe or anything like that. So just make sure you're putting it back in the same place. So that eliminates me have to do any kind of work with the scan tool. Right, so this is the engine when it's clean up the surface, so when I'm ready to mount up, right, there's no holding back, right? Alright, so what I did, I cleaned up the seat where the injectors gonna sit. See it nice and clean. Let's check the next one. Nice and clean. Right, so I gotta make sure that's clean good, because if any debris or anything stays there, then that will allow the injector won't seat properly and it would leak, right? I'm also observing, right, that the EGR is leaking, so probably he will have to replace that, right? What else am I seeing? I'm not seeing anything else. Right, so with the injectors installed, I make sure I put some fresh oil on the o-ring to make sure it is not the o-ring don't roll when it goes down, right? That tends to happen, as you saw in the when I took it out, right? So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put the clamps on for the injectors and tighten them down. So I'm gonna put the clamps down on. I'm gonna just run it down. I'm not gonna torque it yet. Just run it down. Make sure the bolt is you catch bolt in your hand before you tighten. Right, so I'm gonna bring out the torque wrench and I'm gonna torque those bolts off real quick. Alright, so with the injector hold down clamps torqued off, right, I'm gonna install the return line with the washers, and I'm gonna tighten that off also. Alright, so with the return line tighten off, right, I did a rookie mistake. Like, I did this many times. I don't know. I had to release the hold on clamps just to get the angle on the bolt, right? So make sure and re-tighten it when you're finished, and leave this last. Connect up the return first, because it's going to restrict the how you catch these bolts up, and then do the hold on, right? I'm going to use some CRC contact cleaner, quick dry, to just clean off all the residue on the valve cover area. So I made sure I clean off this surface area. It's going to dry real quick, so by the meantime I'm going to get the valve cover and put on the gasket. And normally I don't put no sealant, but I'm going to put a little sealant just in case, right? I don't want this to leak. I don't want to have to take this back off. this cover was repaired before. Look like they sealed it up with some plastic well on the inside also, right? But the last mechanic said that this probably this cover was distorted a little bit, but could be that where it's leaking, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna clean everything up and let the client go and take this vehicle for engine wash and underwash, and then we're gonna monitor to see where all the leaks is coming from after that. Right, so I'm gonna pull in the gasket. I'm gonna apply some gasket maker on it to help seal it, and let's see what's happening. Got the original gasket on by Toyota on. I also put a little bit of the sealant on it to help seal it. I normally don't put, but just in case, I'm not going back and take this off. Alright, so we're gonna put these injector seals on. Just pull it back gently and just pop it on. It should just go in nice and smooth. I'm not gonna put no grease or anything like that. It will just go right on. With the use of the line spanner, I'm gonna just snug these bolts. Bolts, like fasten these suction or supply lines. Right, you don't gotta over tighten them. Make sure. Right. So that's tightened. Plug back in all the harness jack. Gotta make sure and do that before you put back on the intercooler. So plug back in the mass airflow. I'll service that. We're gonna catch the AC compressor connection right here. Alright, so you just put everything that you remove back on, the temperature sensor, right? All the injectors, plug it all back in. Catch back in number 3. Just gotta flip like this. Alright, so I'm gonna catch this up. I'm gonna just put back on the lines, clamps, and I'm gonna put back up the EGR bracket on the EGR bracket, the throttle body, and is slap on this throttle, right? Ready to put the bracket on. So it's going like this, right? We could always jack this in, which is the IAC. No, sorry, the TPS. Real quick, right? And we're gonna get the bolts and put everything up. Right, with the throttle on, I'm gonna put the intercooler on next. And make sure I connect the map sensor connector, and also what is the next connector? Yeah, I believe the temperature sensor for the intake cooler. Right, so let me hook that up. Bolt it down. Is 4 fasteners right on the bracket, and yeah, and then hooked on the turbo pipe, and that should be it for this side. All right, so I had to make sure I hook up the turbo line. I'm gonna put the cover on, right, and I'm gonna just pour the oil in. Also, I'm gonna service up this vehicle while I'm at it. Change the diesel filter, the oil filter, the air. I didn't change the air filter, and yeah, prime it up and it should be up and running. Alright, so I put the primer pump on, change the filter. What else I did? Change the oil. Gotta top up the coolant. Right, yeah, and that should be it. Alright, so until next time, thanks for watching. I hope you like what you saw. This was a quick, well, not quick, but it was just showing you the process. Matter of fact, we gotta put the scan tool in and check back the numbers. So hold on, let me just to end this video real quick. Let me just put the scan tool on and start this vehicle up. Alright, so let's start up this truck and see what's going on. Right, as I said, tips was changed, the nozzles will change on this vehicle. So let's start it up and see what's going on. Alright, let me get this truck started. Alright, so we got the vehicle running again. Okay. So we're gonna do a scan, and we're gonna see what's going on with the injectors. Come out of here. Alright, make sure that the injectors are working perfectly. Alright, as I said, I'm supposed to be seeing like 0 volume per stroke. Right, before we was getting various numbers, only one injector looked like it was functioning. Right, customer basically was saying that he's seeing he's losing a lot of diesel, and he's also losing a lot of oil. So I'm trying to rectify the oil as I go. Right, I'm seeing other oil leaks. Right, but right now I just want to concentrate on the injectors. Right, so what we did also was we seal the valve cover, change the oil filter, air filter, not the air filter, clean the mass air flow so the vehicle can perform efficiently as it can. It is high mileage, right, which is like 287,000, 88,000, which is a lot. Right, and look like they never did anything with these injectors. I mean, yes, they actually did, because you saw how the injector O-ring was damaged. This is doing a quick scan real quick. You're doing a scan of the system. He has a transfer case L4 position switch. Right, I gotta check that out for him. He did say the ABS light did flash. Right, so this is the immobilizer. He do have issue with the immobilizer and the intake manifold runner circuit. I gotta sort that out also. And then, right, so I will sort those out later on. But right now, I'm just gonna focus on the injectors. Let's read data stream. Let's look for the injectors. Let's look for the map. Alright, so that should be it. My battery is dying, so I'm gonna just check this out real quick. Right, so as you can see now, that you get minus 0.47 on number 1, so that got better. And 0.16 minus 0.47 and 0.62. Right, and before we was getting some high values on the injectors. Right, so does that mean the injectors are fixed? I would say so. Alright, so this vehicle is supposed to be moving more efficient. I'm also watching the grams per second. Right, that also will be a higher number because of the, as I said, this is a diesel. Right, so right now the throttle is open a little bit more. Right, but as you can see, the feedback is looking really good. Right, so thanks for watching. You know, don't forget to like and subscribe, so you make sure you be up on more content that I put out there. Right, yeah, take it easy.